This is a HeadGum podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios have literally come out of their shells with the same delicious taste, but with a little less work for you. Less cracking, more snacking. I'm a big pistachio fan. I'm from Chicago. Who isn't? They got good flavors on this ones. They sent each of us a box, so we've tried them and we like them. You got chili roasted, you got honey roasted, you got sea salt and vinegar, you got smoky barbecue, you got sea salt and pepper, and you got my favorite, jalapeno lime. It's got a little bit of kick to it, but not too much. It is truly delicious. So if you're a pistachio fan, which I know you are because you listen to this podcast, then go check out wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Let me spell pistachios for the people out there like me who like the nut but could never spell it. It is Pistachios. That's wonderfulpistachios.com. And happy birthday, America.
USA, we've never been better. And we're back, Jake.
It's America's birthday, and I'm here to celebrate America.
Do you remember, do you remember we spent a July 4th together probably 15 years ago on a hike?
Yeah. We've talked about it on this, and there was explosions.
This is our anniversary, and that should have been a good sign that this podcast would be really weird when I needed 5 stitches in my foot.
Right.
And you and I went on a long hike together.
Yeah.
And when we got down, I took off my shoe and my sock was red with blood. And you were like, you hiked the whole time like that? And I was like, it's been good to see you, buddy.
Speaking of long hikes that were unnecessarily painful, yesterday, I have a Tesla, which I hate. And I do.
Yeah.
I got it because my kids really wanted it and I leased. So I was like, it's 3 years. It'll be fine. It would be nice to not pay for gas. The car does so many stupid things. One of the stupid things is they don't have keys. So everything is, you got like a weird credit card and then it's your phone.
Right.
So at first you go like, that's really cool, man. Like no key, even though we've used keys forever.
And they've been going good.
That's not an issue. Keys are okay.
Yes.
But everything was fine. I don't want to say it because I'll get teased, but I went to jiu-jitsu yesterday. And
there's nothing funny about that. You're trying to get into fighting in your mid-40s. You have a fake locker room with a little sex doll. Go ahead.
And I was running late, not a sex doll. Sexy, but not a sex doll. And I was running late, and I left my phone in the car. It happens. Who cares?
Sure.
We've all done it.
Sure. You're excited to get in the gym and hurt your back.
And I did hurt my back. Real bad. Bully. And long story short, the class ends. And I go out and my doors were locked in my car.
Oh, boy.
Because my phone had overheated in this stupid Tesla and shut off.
Shit.
And my wallet was in my car. Because why do I need a wallet when I'm getting beat up in a jiu-jitsu mat? What am I going to tip them afterwards?
Take my money.
That's officially getting robbed. Like, how you doing? Like, I don't know. And then I have money too. Pass. I'm not bringing any money. So I then had a life moment that really got on top of me. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have any money. I was wearing what Gareth would describe as a very embarrassing outfit.
Yeah.
I was over 4 miles away from home, and it was also 98 degrees, and I had a little hand towel for sweat, and I just walked home. And
God.
Well, what are you going to, Gareth, this was the crazy thing about technology. There's no payphones.
But
I was going to walk up to a stranger and be like, can I use your phone to call my wife?
Don't you have any friends from the class who just whooped your ass and could drive you home for, maybe they could go to the locker room and hang out with a little.
Thanks for tapping me out.
Go to your bang dungeon. Yeah, roll around with your dummy.
Bully. Thanks for tapping me out. Not only is my technique bad and my body's bad, my moves are bad because I locked my phone in my car. Too humiliating.
So this was an ego.
No. Right. Honestly, what happened is the thing closed right after me. Everybody left, and
there was so much blood on the mat. Like, we got to.
I was one of the last to leave. And so I had this really wild moment of, we don't have cell phones. back in the day, I was like, we used to have payphones you could call collect. You imagine if somebody got an unknown number? We get spammed so much.
Oh my God.
There's no chance my wife will answer. She doesn't answer when I call.
She'd be right. Yeah, no.
Now some
she actually has a higher
number.
probability of answering when you call from a payphone, probably.
I was like, and then I had this thing where I was walking down the street. I was so dehydrated, and I thought, like, I want to walk into a store and ask for water. And in LA, there's like such a homeless issue. I'm like, no one's going to give it to me. I'm in this weird sweat outfit with a towel on my head asking for free stuff. I'm like, this world is insane.
You need to find one of those free like dog water dishes that they'll like put in nice little bit. You need to go to
Gareth,
the doggy daycare.
What I really did was buildings that had water faucets.
Tell me the hose, please.
Oh my God.
I hosed my own head. I hosed my towel.
Jake, you are famous. The idea that I potentially could be driving through Los Angeles and be like,
it's not great.
Is that Jake Johnson,
and I'm
sweaty
like,
with a towel over his head, drinking from a building
and then people
spout?
driving by would go, I don't think so, because that dude doesn't have anything going on in his brain. He has a towel on his head. Also, I was wearing water shoes because I couldn't find my shoes at the last minute.
What are water shoes?
They're shoes you can go in and out of water in. My wife got them for me and I've never worn them.
Jake, are you saying like aqua socks?
Yeah.
You are rolling down the street.
It was bad, Garrett.
In aqua socks?
It was bad, man. It was
Why
a bad
are you going
scene.
to jujitsu in water?
Because my man, I was running late. I just had to get there.
But why are those even, sandals?
I'm going to be honest, because there was nothing available, and I'm not going to like take my socks off to get choked out. So I just needed something that was sockless, and these were just in like a drawer. I was like, that'll do it. And they were too tight, and my feet, it was
found
awful.
You.
Anyway,
4 miles.
And in the heat.
And then you walk in, and what is Aaron? Aaron's like, what are you doing? You're like, help.
It had been over, so it was over a 3.5 hour adventure. And she was like, I've been calling you. What is going on? And then I went like, I locked my phone in my car. And as I was talking, it was like a mirror. I was like, this is what this poor woman has to see for 20 years. And she was like, are you okay? And I was like chugging drinks. I'm like super dehydrated. And she's like, ugh. It was honestly a moment where if it was a movie going back to the Wonder Years, it would be at that moment I realized I've made a mistake in marrying. This isn't who my life should be with. If I'm sick in the hospital when I get older, he has control of my decisions.
Do you know Aaron's phone number by heart?
1-900 hot.
All right. Anyway, listen, happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America.
Enjoy the fireworks. Be safe.
And also, if you see me walking down the street and I'm sweating,
just
throw water at me. Throw water.
Film him. Only film him.
Kevin, what do you got about episode 100? Come, wild animals, right? Thank you for saying that.
What?
My studio's coming together. The construction has officially finished. All the gear's coming in now. So it's going to look great. And I'm brainstorming some ideas with our crew. We got here to help production group text popping off ideas. Cool. So a lot in the works. Very exciting.
I got a Patreon extra idea. What if we have a contest, Jake, where there are 15 questions we answer, and whoever knows more about Kevin without researching it, he'll follow on Instagram.
Who cares about it? But let's do a bet that matters.
That matters to me.
Okay, fine.
He doesn't follow us.
Who cares, man?
Jesus, you are.
You've
changed.
Maybe I'm gonna stop following you, Gareth. Just to
what is your deal?
Just don't hurt you,
Jake. I'll call the goddamn show.
But I like that idea. One of the things we should do is how could we get those questions though? We can't write the 15. We don't know the 15.
Kevin could just give us like 15 questions that he thinks are pretty vanilla that we should probably maybe things he's talked about over the course of the show.
I think that's fun. Okay.
Yeah.
How about we do 10 so it's a clean percentage?
Yeah.
Great. And then the winner gets a follow. Great. I love it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We're very excited.
And enjoy the fireworks tonight if you're in America.
Enjoy the fireworks, and then also enjoy the fireworks later tonight because I was talking about the show. Oh, man. What a run.
Also, watch out for your animals tonight. The fireworks scare them, and they run and they go, and there's more lost animals tonight. It's a wild thing.
Very true.
Very true. Put them in cages. Lock them up.
Well, I don't know about the cages. Just keep an eye on them. Either way.
So last but not least, as Bob Barker would say, lock them up!
All right, everybody. Without further ado. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Have you ever considered reading a book, being like a book narrator with that voice of yours?
Good voice.
Oh, really? Thank you so much.
We hear a lot of voices.
We hear a lot of voices.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a keeper.
Can we get your name, please?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's Ellie.
Ellie. It's my niece's name. And where are you calling from, Ellie?
So I'm going to do a broad reach, and I'm calling from the New England area just to
Connecticut.
protect the guilty and the innocent, as it were.
Okay. And Ellie, what's our age range? Are we 8 to 15? Are we 20 to 35? Are we 40 to 60? Are we 71 to 100?
We're 32.
38.
8 to 15 would be an interesting age range, but
I agree.
I'm in my 30s. I'm 35.
Okay, right in between us. Good.
Nice. Okay. All right.
And in what field do we work in?
There we go. Get it.
Why not? Let's get to know it.
So I currently am a second-year law student.
Oh, okay,
so
great.
Okay.
Working towards a law degree in a law profession.
Interesting. I respect it.
Okay. And let's say someone's asking for your lunch order just real quick. What are you going to go with?
I hope this is wild.
3
hoagies, double beef, with
just a pile of lamb.
Yeah, and next to it, lard, and then 3 carrots. Ellie, what do you like to eat for lunch? That's an interesting question, but I kind of love it. Yeah. Oh, that's why.
Oh my gosh, my lunch order?
Yeah. What's your favorite lunch?
That's
Number
so
one
good.
lunch.
So we're definitely going to go either Mexican food or Indian food.
Great.
And then if we're still feeling hungry, we're going for ice cream.
Right.
Because,
what the hell? The day's over.
Yeah.
Hey, Gareth,
Jesus,
what's
Ellie.
your favorite lunch?
Well, I'll tell you, when she said Mexican, I was like,
Same.
oh, that would be great right now.
Yeah,
Remember when we used to go eat pupusas?
Yeah, for sure. And Atwater.
99-cent
Yeah,
pupusas.
yeah, delicious.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Let's circle back on the lunch.
Okay, sure. All right, Ellie. Well, why don't you tell us?
humiliating. Because I was
Yeah, it is.
about to
I know.
answer.
I know.
Ellie, your problem today.
And it's not us.
I'm here to help you with lunch choices.
Now we're
Thank
talking.
you.
Yeah, no problem.
So what's
Okay,
going on?
Ellie, what's going on?
So I mentioned that I am a second-year law student, but I'm calling in to ask for your advice today because I'm having issues conveying the fact that law student and legal professional are not the same thing to my family. So I will go back and visit my family members, and immediately I am just bombarded with legal questions,
free
which
law advice.
legally I can't answer. I legitimately, there's a character and fitness test that says I'm not allowed to give legal advice.
What?
So not only do I say this, I can't give you advice. It's just not something I can legally do. I don't even feel comfortable, but that has yielded no positive results for me.
Of course, I got to tell you, Ellie, it wouldn't stop me either. It wouldn't stop Gareth. If we had a second-year law student here, we'd ask questions. And when they said I can't legally say, you go, where's the judge?
Come on, it's just us.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to clarify. I'm in the woods a little bit. I think I see a light at the end of the tunnel. You're a second-year law student, but everybody in your family asks for advice, and you're sick of the advice. Is that correct?
It's not so much that that they'll ask me perform certain things that only a lawyer can do. Like they'll say, "Can you write my will?" And I say, one, I cannot because I legally can't.
Oh, so they think you're already done. Okay.
So you're the only kind of connection to the legal world, and you're not allowed to do these things yet, but they keep asking. A will is quite an ask.
Yeah.
Are there other weird asks you've gotten? At what clip are these coming at you?
So it's, if someone that my family works with or someone they know has a question, they'll be like, oh, let me talk to my daughter because, I'll have the answers because I'm lawyer adjacent, and I have to be like, actually, you can't keep doing that because you're not lawyer adjacent.
It is obviously not similar, but when you start doing comedy and getting on TV, everybody wants to pitch you SNL sketches.
The worst is when you're a stand-up
Isn't
and
it?
someone's like, I've got a skit for you.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I don't do skits.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times I used to get a lot. I was in line the other day. This would be a good thing for SNL, and I would go, I'll send them a packet. I'm not there. Also, they don't want an unsolicited sketch idea about a bagel shop from an 80-year-old woman.
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works.
I started to do this. I started to push them because my mother would do that a lot.
Incredible.
She'd go you really should do something about Uncle Nigel. And I go,
what?
I'd go, well, okay, what is it? I'd be like, how deep you want to get in this game?
That's fun. This sounds like what I used to get. It sounds like one of your plays. Don't call them plays. So Ellie,
Make them up.
don't call them plays. I'm older. I'm 40s. So Ellie, what is the specific question? And you got to take control. I'm going to tell you why. It's just Gareth and I, and we're feeling wild.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
You're a second-year law student. Can I ask some law advice from you? How do you shut us up legally?
No, you may not.
Yeah. Oh, now I see the problem. Come on, Ellie. It's just us. Ellie, it's just us.
Legally allowed
just
to
us.
give her advice.
Yeah, exactly.
The more I think about this, I think her ask is quite inappropriate.
Yeah. So Ellie, what is the specific question? And then, I don't know if you know this, but a character I played on television went to law school, passed the exam, and then in the funniest realization when we were doing bits on set one day, we realized, wait, he passed the exam and then decided to work at a bar and sweep floors? I think it was Lamorne who's like, your character's an idiot, dude.
Hey, this is season 5.
What are you doing?
This
And I was
is
like,
horrible.
yeah, actually, wait, I passed it? I didn't fail. I passed. So what is the specific question?
Not only that, but your character passed the California bar.
Yeah, it was the hardest. That's right. My brother passed the California bar and said the same thing. He's like, wait, this idiot who can't spell rhythm passed the California bar? And I was like, yes, and then chose to clean dirty dishes.
Not an idiot.
So, Ellie.
Not an idiot. He's an author.
Yeah, Ellie, this is not about us.
Yeah, stop it.
I got to give you some legal advice. Take the reins.
Yeah, no.
What is the question, young lady? We are wild and spazzing out.
Too wild.
Kevin hates this call.
Oh, hates it. Kevin misses the papoose
I'm about to be the judge.
Yeah. And the judge is going to be, you're going to get hung up on and just put on Patreon. So, Ellie,
I sentence your call to Patreon.
No!
Oh, no! Anything but that!
So, Ellie, what is the question?
So my question is, I have approached dealing with fielding these requests for legal advice and for legal work products and everything with reason. I've said I can't legally do this. I've said that not only that, but I'm not even through school yet.
Hey, dear, we're not paying you by the hour. You got to get to it. I'm just joking. This was a really bad lawyer.
So,
I just wanted to say pay by the hour.
How would you both deal with this? I guess, what advice do you have for someone who's
honest to God, I know exactly.
tried logic?
Ellie, I know exactly what I would do.
I got 3. Go ahead.
Awesome.
I would give really bad advice.
That's one of mine.
And when they said, like, would you write the will? I would write the will like you're a goddamn idiot. And then they would
call it a bill.
Yeah. And then they would go like, what are you doing? And you go like, well, I've told you, I'm just a student.
Yeah.
So I think the will should just be me. Money goes around the merry-go-round, and they go, huh? And you go, what do you want from me? I'm a student. If they go, what would I do in that legal situation? You go, well, like I've told you, I can't legally give advice. I haven't finished, but here would be my suggestion. Don't give the money back and run.
Just that is a way to go. Just get the word spread that you're terrible at legal advice to the family. I mean that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What else you got, Garth?
Well, that one you can have a little fun with.
Yes.
That one you can really be like, look, I think you go the treasure route. Yeah. Make someone sleep in a haunted mansion.
Yeah. Do you want me to write the will? Yeah. Put it in a big treasure, make a map, and throw it in the ocean.
Or yeah, just like write on crayon on the back of a restaurant menu and just like send that to them as a PDF.
So when you hear bad advice, Ellie, what's your thought?
When I hear bad advice?
No, like if you hear this pitch that we just gave to you, could you maybe just show your family that you're a bad second-year law student and they don't want advice from you?
I think it would be interesting to kind of tweak it a little bit and do what you're saying, which is like write an absolutely outrageous will.
Yes.
And that could never be actually like seen as a legal document.
Yes.
And just pass it off. Even jokingly say like, this is the best that I can do. It's not legally binding and I'm a student.
Yeah, and whatever you write, spill coffee on it and then scan it and send it with like a ketchup stain and like a coffee stain on it and be like, here you go, came out pretty good, and spell good G-U-D.
Yeah, so that's option 1. What do you got option 2, Garth?
Okay, option 2 is what you could do is you could tell one of your parents, and this is just a way to spread the word through the family, that someone you went to school with just got in a lot of trouble for espousing legal advice that they were not allowed to. Barred. Yes. Barred from the bar. And you could say and be stressed out and be like, I feel
like bad because I've given our family a couple bits of legal advice, which I shouldn't do.
You got to spread the word to everybody.
Yeah.
Never tell anyone. It can never happen again.
Yes.
A fucking student in my school just got kicked out.
Yes. You don't even want to tell your family directly.
Ooh,
I think
I like
a parent
Bard.
would give that like extra.
That's bold.
You know how a parent is. You know, I have parents. We all have them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one.
Bragger, I only have one. Keep going. My dad.
That's pretty. Your father lives on forever. Your father.
R.I.P. Croc.
Crocko.
Love you, big fella.
Why'd you kiss your 2 fingers, Jake, and show them to the sky?
Let your mustache rain down on all of us. All right. So Bard is a really interesting one.
Yeah.
I got one.
Okay.
Charge him.
That's a great one. That puts you back in kind of your original predicament, but I think if you come up with a number that is pretty high.
How about this? Gareth, you be a family member, I'll be Ellie.
You know I love the biz.
Let's do it fast. We don't need a whole bunch of setup of what you were doing before you got to the scene.
That was some
and
good
action.
potato salad. All right. Hey, Ellie, can I ask you a favor real quick?
Sure. How was the potato salad? Where'd you get it from?
So good. I never thought I'd like it with raisins in it, but someone pulled that crafty move,
Yeah.
and I'm
The
never
judge
going to
is looking
forget
at
it.
his watch.
Okay.
Christ, why do we invite that guy to these things?
He's always with me.
It's really tough. So, all right. So I was in a parking lot the other day.
Yeah.
Someone backed into my car.
Oh, is this legal advice?
Yeah. They
Okay,
don't
so
have
hold on
insurance.
1 second. I just
Yeah.
have to start the clock because I do have to charge you. It is $425 an hour.
No,
but
Ellie.
I need a $5,000 retainer.
Ellie.
But that's for the first 5 hours. So if you want to do this, you could just make the check out to me. And it would be $5,000 to start. Do you want to proceed with this, or do you want to drop it? Because I've asked you
It's
nicely
just
a lot.
simple and
I
short.
understand.
All
It's just
right.
what I do.
No,
Just-
I'll figure it out.
Okay, thank you so much. How was that raisin again?
Really good. Well,
Checkmate.
it was
Checkmate.
just. It was just.
Do you see what happened there, Ellie? Checkmate.
You see?
Bobby Fischer did.
Yep. He really did. Yeah.
Because the person's going to go, she's an asshole. But you know what you're going to say? You're an asshole.
Yeah.
I put a boundary up. You jumped over it. I kicked you in the ass.
I like that one too. What do you think of that, Ellie? I got one more.
Let's get the
That's
one more.
actually
Let's get the
I'm-
one more, and then we'll
I'm
see what you
actually
want.
loving all of these.
Okay, the
You're going to
next-
get 4, and then you're going to
The
decide.
next one is the next big
Okay.
family event, picnic, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
You wear a shirt that says "Not at all a lawyer."
Yep.
Put the vibe out there.
Okay, so now here's what you got, Ellie. We're going to recap, and then the floor is yours.
Okay.
Number 1, you give bad
Okay.
advice. Then the word starts to spread that Ellie might be a dope.
Yep. Don't count on our family lawyer.
Number 2, somebody at your school got barred. You're very scared. Spread the word. This can't happen to you. 3, charge them. 4, next family event, wear a shirt, a hat, or a pin that says, I am not
Or
at
all
all a
3.
lawyer. I cannot give advice. Please stop asking. Enjoy the chicken salad. Ellie, what are you going to do? Do, 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 do.
So I think that I'm definitely just the idea of having a shirt like that is amazing. So, and then I think I'm definitely going to get the shirt and wear that the next time because I think that's hilarious.
Oh, you're going
But
4.
I think more than that.
Okay.
Right. I love it. A
well,
two-pronger.
I'm going 4 with a side of 2
Nice.
because
Ooh.
while 1 and 3.
Love how you put that.
Good.
So while 1 and 3 definitely have their merits, there's still like that issue that it might
This is
come
a
back to
Gareth
bite
special.
me. And I want to
about
make
who
sure that
gets it, though.
when I can practice, that people know that I give fair fees, which is
Yep.
anotir like legal responsibility
Pretty sweet.
thing, and that
Yeah.
I'm a good attorney. But I think that saying that someone was barred from my law school and like just really freaking out about it
I love it.
is something I can definitely latch on to.
Ellie, let us know how it goes, but also you might have just started something here, and that is referring to how you're doing it as if it's a restaurant
Yes.
and you're making a thing, because you said, I'll take
4
a
with a
4
side
with
of
a
2.
side of 2.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be something we're going to pitch a little bit. This is a restaurant. This is your menu. What are you choosing to eat today?
That's very good. I like that.
Ellie?
Ellie,
Just
we
like the
rest
beginning
our
of the
case.
conversation.
Ellie, we rest our case.
Full circle.
Ellie,
rest our case.
You're in contempt of this. You're in contempt of this podcast.
Thank you for the call, Ellie.
Thanks, Ellie.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Appreciate
And Jake, we're brought to you by Babbel. We've talked about Babbel before. Babbel is science-backed language learning app that actually works. Basically, you take a 10-minute lesson. It's handcrafted by over 200 language experts, and you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Jake, you've picked up French. Why don't you show us a little?
Perfect.
This is the before.
So that was before. And after, here it is.
Here's the after.
Il a besoin de moi pour partir de Montparnasse, sinon il peut pas. Ouais, je suis bloqué sinon. Je suis parti à Nancy et là je reviens de Nancy.
So thank you, Babbel. It's
Beautiful
incredible.
to hear you speak that language. But it's really easy. I mean, if you think about going to another country, you're overwhelmed. So use Babbel. It's speech recognition technology. And here's a special limited time offer for our listeners. Right now, you can get up to 60% off on your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/HTH. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/HTH, spelled BABBEL.com/HTH. Go get them. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This episode is brought to you by Hero Bread. Hero Bread is something I love on Father's Day. My wife said, "What do you want for breakfast?" And I said, "French toast with Hero Bread so I don't have to feel guilty about the carbs." And it was delicious. So I like the bread. I like the Hawaiian rolls. I like the tortillas. I am a genuine fan. Hero Bread's healthier sliced bread and tortillas will fit into your health goals. Just ask the hunk with a little bit of chunk. Kevin, what problem does Hero Bread solve for you? I'll tell you what it solves for me. I get my fiber, I get my taste, and it truly tastes good. Keep the carbs out of summer without compromising flavor with Hero Bread. Get 10% off of your order at hero.co and use code HELP at checkout. That's help at hero.co. Take my word for it. It tastes genuinely good.
And we're brought to you by Rocket Money. Rocket Money, as we've talked about, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending, helps lowers your bills, all these things so you can grow your savings. I've talked on the show before about how I was paying for a Packers radio station that I got one day for a playoff game, and turns out they'd been getting $7.95 a year from me until Rocket Money was like, "Hey, buddy, I don't think you use this anymore. The technology's advanced." But Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved over a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. So, stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/help. That's rocketmoney.com/help. rocketmoney.com/help.
Does it look better like this, guys, or like this?
The first one. Yeah. Such a Mariah
Hello.
Carey.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Hello. So weird to be here. Oh my gosh.
I think it's weird for us too.
Yeah.
I can
Welcome to
imagine.
Weird Here to Help.
Well, what can we do for you? Take over. Tell us what you want to tell us. The floor is yours. Here is a picture of a chimp.
Wow.
Go
All
ahead.
right. Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys call me Luann.
Luann.
I
Interesting.
am from Real Housewives.
Yeah.
I am from
the Countess.
Wisconsin.
Nice.
Yes, respect.
Where, Luann, where in
Um,
Wisconsin? It
Well, I
matters.
don't know how specific to be. Southwest.
Sure.
Southwest. Okay. What's the biggest city near you in the Southwest?
La Crosse. I'm from the La Crosse
sure.
area.
All right, La Crosse.
And what's your real name and where are you actually calling from?
Would you like my address?
No, just your social security, please.
All right,
Okay.
we just want to get into it.
Okay, long story short.
Yeah.
Long story short, I met this girl when I was in high school. She was nice, but like really weird. But also I was really weird, so it was fine.
Sure.
I viewed it more as like an acquaintance situation, but as the years progressed, it became very obvious that it was like a monumental, important friendship in her life.
Mhm.
I was hoping that when we graduated, which was in 2013, that it would naturally die as high school friendships do. But she has not let it die. And I, for about a decade, have been getting once a week Instagram messages from her. And in this decade, I have responded. I went and counted this morning. I've responded 8 times in a decade.
Wow.
But they continue to come once a week. So I've pretty much been ghosting her for 10 years. And my question is there any way without me being a total a-hole that I can let this die and end this friendship, or at least like maybe once a year?
Good question. It's a good question. So Gareth, will you break this one down? Just do an old school recap, just because it's the first of the day. The coffee's just hitting and I'm just waking up.
Well, okay, we have quote unquote Luann calling from somewhere in Wisconsin. And how do you kind of manage a friend who thinks they're a really good friend of yours, but you don't really care for the friendship at all? And as far as inconveniencing goes, it's really kind of minor, because it's just like you're getting a message a week and there's really nothing. It's so easy to avoid, but you're just irritated by it, which I get. You're just like, stop. It's kind of like, it's a little bit of like nesting in your world, which just feels annoying.
Yeah.
So how do you kind of, how do you rebuff it? How do you stop it?
I got an easy one.
Okay.
God texts.
Do what?
What text?
Overly religious texts. God. God texts.
I don't think that's going to work because I am overly religious.
Okay.
Underly religious texts.
Is she?
Well, okay. So part of why I think this friendship spiraled out of control is because when we were in high school, my mom invited her to our church and we drove her to church every week for 4 years.
Okay.
So now you're a Satanist. You're only going to message with people who believe in the Dark Lord.
Okay.
What are her politics? This is a real.
I have no idea because she only sends me Harry Potter memes. I don't know any. I don't even know her. It's been a decade.
Gotcha. Okay.
To the path you're kind of going down a little bit, Jakey boy.
Yeah.
What if you start kind of spamming her with something? It doesn't need to be political or religious, but it could be like a weird charity, like, now you're trying to like save turtles.
Yep. There's always something, Gareth, when friendships break, and a lot of them for a lot of people happened in 2020.
Yes.
But it's when one person goes, I'm not trying to be crazy, but, and then you respond with, I hear you, man. Tomato, tomato. I'm not going down that road. And they go, let me send you 40 texts about it. And by around the 15th, you go, how valuable is this friend? So we can go in any direction. I like what Gareth was saying about turtles. We could also do anything. It's just you
become... Great isolated quote-wise, that's a great one. I like what Gareth said about turtles.
Kind of sums up doing a podcast.
With me.
Gareth, with everybody.
With me. Okay. All right, keep going. Where are you going?
But I'm good. So this idea of if it's not religion, if it's not politics, what's one weird thing that you could pretend to be into and pretend to send a group email that she's just part of it, that she has to go, this woman changed. I don't know her anymore. I don't want to be in her life. I don't like this. And all you need to do is once a week, Friday at 5 p.m., send another weird one.
I don't know why I'm initially leaning towards geology.
Sure.
Go on, hold on.
Crazy boring.
Information about rocks.
Go on.
Sure.
Go on. What could that?
I mean, I'm already boring myself.
Luann, what could that email look like?
Well, I think I would have to do like a medium amount of research first, just collect a bunch of rock facts, and then just once a week, just share what I've learned about sediment.
Sure.
Okay. I think that's really nice and boring.
It's super boring.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it would be annoying.
Kevin, what do you think? Kevin, what are you thinking? You lean towards the camera when
Kevin,
she's talking about rocks.
You're weird about your Instagram. You don't follow Jake or I. What's your gut?
I couldn't stop thinking about my high school geology teacher wore socks and sandals every day, Mr. Jarvis, and I was wondering if there is some sort of narrative you could create about someone else maybe that you could keep bringing up. His socks and I haven't thought about his socks and sandals in 15 years. White socks always too.
You know what that made me think when you said talk about somebody else. One really boring thing that people do is when they're talking about somebody who you don't know, somebody else in their life. So one thing you could do is you could bring something up to everybody in like a group email that like a geologist, something with rocks you're really into. And then she would write back like, yeah, Luann, so excited you're excited. And then you'd be like, but what you don't know is that her mother is dating a guy who's a postman. And then I'm not kidding, you get AI to write it, you go 15 pages. Maybe we flood her with,
I like flooding the market.
Right? Just drowned with words.
Look, we're trying to, here's another angle. What if you just hit her back with like 30 dolphin emojis every time she writes? Or like something super weird where she's like, oh, she's like lost her mind a little bit or something like that. I think part of what's good about this too is it kind of gives you a little bit of a game within it. Now instead of just feeling like irked by whenever she messages, you're going to try to find what stops her from doing it.
Yeah. What about gibberish texts?
Lean on the keyboard.
Yeah, but also like literally start doing a regular response where you say like, hey, really nice to, and then do it like Mad Libs. Just throw the weirdest word in there, and then she can't.
I like that too. What about this? What if you start writing back? Do you have a dog or a cat?
I have 3 cats.
Why don't you start writing back from the perspective of one of your cats, and be like, "This is Luann's cat."
She would like that.
Yeah, she might love that. That's
well.
I think she would really like it.
But there's something about the
cats. Give me her email.
I
like the energy of this woman.
There's something about that could be really interesting. What if you wrote overly long emails about the interpersonal relationship between the cats, and when you think you're done, do 3 more pages, but like about their relationship with each other and about how like it's been really strange lately when like Wiggles isn't doing this, like Tiger Lady's getting very mad at her, and I think it could, and you just go deeper and deeper in so that that this woman has to go, I think Luann is off the deep end. I don't care about her cats. Because what you're looking for is you want her to dump you.
Yeah. Also, another one, you could just copy the message she writes you and paste it back.
That's interesting. Ooh, how about this? What if you just reply all, I farted?
That's good too.
Every time she emails you, you just write back, I farted.
This
she
is
writes like, why are you saying that?
Instagram DM, right? So this is just you. Yeah.
So, okay. All right. So just when she DMs you, you just write back, cool DM, I farted.
Or like, tootin'
what
so
would her
hard.
response to, if somebody said to me, if I wrote an old friend, I wrote a whole thing about my life and then said, what's up with you? And they wrote back, I farted. I would go like, did you get hacked by a 10-year-old?
I would say our best approach here is for you to pick 4 of these.
Yeah.
And let's just start going down the list.
Yeah.
And give each one a 3-week run.
And
the cumulative effect of this is she's going to be like, boy, Luann lost her goddamn mind.
What if every time?
I would guess.
What I think so too. What if every DM you wrote back, I'm a turtle?
Yep.
Man, I honestly, half of these, I just feel like she would do herself genuinely.
Wait, say that again. What does that mean? She would do herself genuinely.
She would say she's a turtle to you.
She'll be like, awesome, I'm algae.
And like I could see myself sending her a meme and her responding, I farted.
Maybe be best friends with her. She sounds cool.
That's great.
Rekindle this friendship.
What's the downside of this cool lady?
Yeah.
Something that gives me like the very, very small annoyance is when I send a friend a meme or a link or anything and they respond, haha, I saw this. Like just that realization that just it takes the excitement out of like I can't wait to show this to someone and they're like I already saw this. If you could hit her back with maybe not every single one but 90% of them of like I saw this, I think she might be like why even send these? She's seen them all.
And then you have the obvious option, which is that you either just totally ignore it, you mute her, or you just fucking go nuclear and just block her. Mm-hmm. Just be like, whatever, I'm over it.
I mean, we could all just do that. If you're looking for a normal response, you've come to the wrong place.
Yeah.
But
we assume rationality's left the building.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you're calling. Before, we used to say like, well, there's always a path. We've been doing this for a year now. You don't want that path. That's why you're here. One thing you could do is, and this is a long, weird play that could work, You could respond back to her with specifics that aren't her, but the same name. And then she writes back like, I don't think we went to a water park last weekend. And then you can write, who is this? And she goes, Stephanie Ann. And you go, Stephanie Ann who? And she goes, and then you go, oh my God, from high school? We haven't seen each other in like a decade. I'm so sorry. There's a friend of mine who I see, and I literally thought that was you. And then you go like, all the best. Yeah. So nice hearing from you. Hope you've been good in the last 10 years in your life. Like, go kick butt, girl. Mm-hmm. Love ya.
All right. Last pitch from me. Okay. Google bad foot injury and just send back a picture each week of a really gnarly foot injury.
Yeah.
That you could not have picked anything more specifically horrifying to me personally, and I do kind of love it.
Why bad foot is so specific to you?
I think feet are so gross.
Huh, interesting. Interesting.
That's a great idea,
This is
though.
about growth.
That's a
all
weird
right,
term.
well, look, I mean, we have kitchen sinked you. I think, I don't know, what do you think, Jake? I would say the idea here is to just really start working through them. If they're working, then abandon them. We have a ton of options.
Yeah, so then, Luann, let's go to you. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I very much like the return the spam idea. I think I could really get ChatGPT to work for me and get some long messages going about something dull. I like the turtles business. I like the dolphin emojis. I like the gibberish. I like the cat. I like it all. I'm gonna try a lot of things and see what happens.
Can you follow up with us and send us screen grabs of what you're doing, and we'll block out the names?
Yeah, and
100%.
let us know which one is kind of working the best.
Yeah, and if it goes sideways, call back because it might.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
This is a high wire act.
Absolutely.
And again, there's always the option of just ignoring the DM, which
Gareth,
again,
have you forgotten what show you're doing?
I have. To be quite honest,
Are you now Tony Hale? Are you Biff Whiff?
Hailing?
Who cares?
I don't know. I would call your dad.
Yeah. Why would you do this? You don't have
Tony
to do it this way.
I love when someone like Tony comes in and like, what are you doing? We're like, oh, sorry, we go nuts.
Yeah. I think we need to talk about this person in a real way. Are you okay? And I'm like, hold on. So take the gumball, put it in your butthole.
Do you have a costume shop near you?
Luann, we appreciate the call. Keep us updated, please.
Yeah, let us know.
Thank you so much.
See you, bud.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, the wait is over. Dell Technologies Black Friday in July deals are live. So, check out incredible savings on select laptops and more, like the XPS 15, powered by Intel Core processors. That's the XPS 15. Now, the XPS 15 brings you the perfect balance of power and portability, plus stellar visuals and immersive sound. Your talents now have a device to stream videos, edit photos, or create your next masterpiece. Plus, complete your dream setup with deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics and free shipping on everything. Don't miss out on Black Friday and July savings at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This episode is brought to you by Mando. Mando is a deodorant that we all use here at the show, Kevin especially. Kevin, are you a Mando man?
I need it with the gym now that I'm going. I'm sweating a lot more than I normally do. So I got my Mando, I got my water bottle.
Let me tell you why Mando's is especially good, especially for guys like Kevin who are always in the gym. Mando doesn't cover up odor after the fact with heavy fragrances like other deodorants. It stops the odor at the source by blocking the bacteria on your skin from eating your sweat, which is the actual cause of BO, and that is disgusting, and I did not know that. So what does this mean? It means that Mando is clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. So use code here to help at shopmando.com. shopmando.com.
Hey everyone, producer Kevin here. The original call from this next follow-up aired on June 10th. It's called Seeing Past the Piggies, and it's the first call on this episode. If you'd like to listen as a quick refresher, go for it. Enjoy.
Hi.
Hi, welcome back to the show.
Oh my goodness. Happy to
Notice.
be here.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
We missed
Remind
you.
us of who you are, what your
Who are
problem is, and give us a gosh dang follow-up.
Oh man, here for that. My name
man.
is Beverly.
Okay.
I am calling from Arkansas.
Okay.
And it was about a month ago that we chatted last about a certain coworker with a certain habit of removing
Toes. Did you say toe
Yeah,
worker?
well-
Shoo. Toe
Did she
I
say
great.
think
toe
we
worker?
did say toe worker.
I thought I
think
heard
so.
that.
Get it trending.
Toe worker's
So
great.
this was about the woman who you worked with in a hot office. She takes her shoes off, and Gareth suggested Parmesan in the floor, which was still an all-time favorite for me. And so, what did you do? What's happening? Walk us through it. Where are we at?
Yeah, well, I just want to say I really appreciate like the validation from you guys and from the Here to Help just like community. So I just want to
Ooh,
shout
look
everyone
at
out for that.
Shout out,
Right, we're
Yeah,
here for
the comments. Yeah,
We're
I'm
here
here
for
for
you.
that. Yeah, of course. So what I first did is there was someone with like stinky food in the office, and so I asked her, "Oh my God, like do you smell that? Like are you, you know?" And she responded with that she doesn't really have a sense of smell.
Interesting turd.
So
Or shared space.
So yeah, right, of course, and it just kind of eliminates any of those pitches about like anything smelly or out stinking
Sure does.
the stink. So then I
But
tried
Parmesan
doing the
is
whole
more
thing.
about the texture.
True.
Parmesan is more about the texture, but I would
going.
also suffer because
agree.
then it would also be like, and you know what
Shoot the
I mean?
hostage.
You ever heard of a war where one side said like there were no casualties?
Yeah, it's true.
Not reality. Not reality. But keep going, Beverly.
You're always talking about war, Jake.
Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
pointing it.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
So then I tried the whole
Have you
thing
seen his
of,
jujitsu class?
Bully.
Keep going, Beverly. Ignore them.
No, it's okay. I'm here for this.
We're not for
So then I
this.
tried the thing where I was like, hey, I think I saw like something crawling around. Like I'm not really a critter person,
Great.
but I got a little freaked, and like I know I'm having this conversation with her while her shoes are off, of course. But I was like, I know you like to take your shoes off, and I just want to make sure that your toes were protected from like any sort of like spider or like whatever. And I had to review the podcast notes actually before I said that to her to see
Good
what
job.
Jake had said word for word because I was
Good
so
job.
nervous about
And
it.
by the way, first of all,
So-
thank you. Most people don't take any of our advice. You took
No.
notes. You
Yeah.
get a 10 out of 10.
Second of all,
Yeah.
thank you. You guys are my therapists. Is how I'm treating
Dangerous.
this. So.
Dangerous. But keep
Not
going.
Absolutely, it's so dangerous. My next follow-up will be how to find a new job because I will be
Yep.
getting fired.
Absolutely.
So to which she looks at me just like super straight faced and says, "Oh, we have spiders here."
This
And
woman's
so I
an
was like,
animal.
"Okay."
She's incredible.
So we're not bothered by spiders.
Or
we
smell.
don't really have a sense
Smells.
of smell.
Hmm.
So then I was like, I just need to get curious here. I need to ask a little bit more about the why behind the what, like get to the root of the issue, hopefully.
Also, do you ever want to co-host an episode with the way your brain works? You're
Yeah,
a
you-
goddamn
What?
genius.
Yeah.
Oh my
You got-
God.
You got
Are
a real brain
you
on
messing
you.
with me? Well, thank
I'm
you.
messing with
We
you.
lo-
You're doing
a
wonderful.
woman with a real brain. Oh my God. And so then I asked if she'd ever had any incidents with her shoes off.
Mm.
I have an ally in the office, and he was helpful in this conversation of just trying to make it feel like more casual. And the ally and I found out that Diamonds, she essentially introduced the lifestyle of going barefoot to us. So by asking her these questions, she told us about how this is all a part of her like life perspective of strengthening her feet and her legs.
No
And
bueno.
so
You're gonna lose
She
this
goes
battle.
on to explain, no, I don't need that energy. She goes on to explain, like, the shoes need to have no soles or no heels.
I've heard about
She
these
picks
people.
up-
They cut their soles
Yeah.
out of their shoes, and then they
Yes.
keep the shoes on so they can go into stores.
Right.
I know this
right,
world,
which-
Gareth.
And
Of course you do.
she picks up
These
her
are my
shoe to
people.
show me about how the toe needs to be an extra wide toe.
Does
Again, she picks up the shoe because she's not wearing it, and she
They're
shows it to
useless.
me, and she tells me that she loves to wiggle her toes around.
yeah?
And
who
I'm
doesn't?
like, sadly, Diamond, I know that, not because you told me, but because I've seen you freaking do it, like
Oh,
in our
no.
cubicle.
Them's be
well, like,
fighting words.
Did you say that? Did you kind of go with like a real like? Were you kind? I mean, were you kind of like that aggressive?
I'm not saying anything, but according to my ally, my face was saying everything. So now I kind of realize that I'm not up against a strange habit, but I'm up against like a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Like it just feels a little different. It's obviously still goofy, but
different.
it feels like a little bigger than that. And so I was like, I need like a physical barrier for her feet to like
peanut butter and
fit
jelly
or
the
touch.
floor.
Like a shoe?
No, peanut butter and jelly the floor because she
I actually
doesn't have
tried
smell
another
but texture.
thing.
What'd you
Okay.
try?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I got some like Arm & Hammer like carpet deodorizer,
Okay.
and
Parmesan.
I get to work before Diamond does. Yeah, essentially a Parmesan, but like my nose wouldn't be bothered by
Uh-huh.
it. And I sprinkled it all over her side of the cubicle,
Great.
and it
Okay.
looks obnoxious. The floor is white.
So she now
Um,
tracks it, and wherever she goes, she tracks it with those little piggy
Right,
toes.
right. And that day, like, she doesn't say anything about the white floor, but she also doesn't take her shoes off.
Hmm.
And it's
She's
it's
wild.
fantastic. So it like solves the issue. The next day, because we think it's so goofy that hasn't said anything about the white floor, my ally asks her, "What's going on in here?" when I'm like not in the office. And she responds with, "Well, Beverly is scared of the spiders, so she's put down some spider deterrent in the cubicle to keep the spiders away."
Great.
Not the reason why, but like still
Whatever.
like we got what we wanted, right? And then yesterday, you guys, I do the same thing, and she comes in and she takes off her shoes, and I sent in a video, and that has what has spurred on this follow up because I just sent it in this morning because I was so bummed out.
Can we see the video, Kev?
Yep. 1 sec. Let me grab it.
I'm interested in seeing a video.
It's just really fast. It's just her feet. It's her feet walking back into the cubicle without
Beverly,
any
there's
shoes on.
there's a big community for this.
What's interesting? There sure is. What's interesting is that it worked, and she didn't even say anything to you. She assumes you have a spider phobia. Oh fuck me! What the fuck?
And I just want to say,
Yeah.
like, we have consecutively had like 10 days of heat advisories here in Arkansas. And like she is
It's a real
dedicated.
problem.
She's dedicated to her lunchtime walk, to picking up trash, making the world a better place. And
Man.
I love that, and I want to like cheer her on for that.
Yes.
But like this is
It's good.
Okay.
It's just the feet. It's the
You know
bare
what we got.
feet.
You know what we got to do, Beverly. I think you got
What
to
do we
go to
gotta
one of the
do?
higher ups and ask for a new office and say you love Diamond. She's great. Just say it's grossing you out. And you
Yeah.
don't want to make this a big HR thing. You don't want to get her in trouble.
You
You're
already
like,
have laid the foundation with the fact that you saw spiders over there, so it's not going to look like you're directly saying because of what she does.
No, also you
That's
just say
so
like
true.
I'm asking one-on-one to move.
Yes.
yeah.
And you go, I don't want this to be about her. But
Yes.
you tried to fight
And she-
this war with a we're here to help method. She's greater than our
Right.
ability to stop.
She.
I could
but
get like
she-
a doctor's note from my therapist.
We can write a doctor's note
guys-
because we're the therapists.
We're doctors.
Yeah.
And we're not going to keep
Yeah.
answering emails where people are saying we're not. We are doctors.
But by the way, should
We've been doing a podcast for
Right.
almost a year.
you know what we could do? We're doctors. You know what we could do? Is we could. Would you actually take this to your boss? Because we could write a thing.
I would
from-
100%.
So why don't we
take
write
it to
something
my
from
boss,
Dr. Johnson and Dr. Reynolds and Nurse Kevin?
Nurse
Bartell.
Kev.
And even go ahead.
No, say it, Gareth.
We could talk about how Nurse Bartell doesn't follow us on Instagram. But why don't we
say that she needs her own space from this as her therapists? These feet are having a bad thing for her.
And when you are moving, if you can, it's all about the spiders. You don't like spiders. You're arachnophobia.
It's all about this. Like, I'm not a critter person. I'm not a critter person.
We're going as therapists about the spiders? I thought
No. We're writing
the feet.
We're going on the feet, but when she's telling Diamond,
but that's not going to be the reason.
When she tells Diamond, she will frame it as a spider issue.
Yeah, they're not going to move you if you're afraid of a spider.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're saying it's feet. It's gross. We're grossed out. Yeah. But we don't want Diamond to know we're judging her. So we're going to say it's about spiders, which she already thinks we have a phobia over.
So just to clarify where we're at, because I think Gareth and I are going to sell something, but I don't know if you want to buy it. We're thinking of writing a letter to your boss and addressing the feet. But what you say to her is it's about the spider.
When you move, if it works.
Are you comfortable with that?
You guys are addressing the feet in the letter, or saying that
right.
Spiders in the letter?
You can't say to the boss, my client needs to move because there's a spider.
What? We'll give you one of each.
For being a maniac.
We'll give you one of
each. Could we do one of each? Is that okay, or is that
like
way extra? I don't know what you guys charge.
No, it's another $50. It's another $50, but we'll do one of each.
Perfect.
Are you subscribed to the Patreon?
Yeah, are you on Patreon?
Not yet.
Well, that's
okay.
That's
for
Patreon.
$5, you'll get 30 letters.
We write notes for our Patreoners. And also a magic cloth that you can hold up to the YouTube screen and touch us.
Absolutely.
But we'll write you one of each.
We can do this.
And then you pick. And why don't you hand that to one? You pick which one, and you tell your boss, and you say, "Look, this is just. I've been talking to my doctor about this, and this is where we're at."
But just to talk out the spiders one for a second. If we're saying our client needs to move because there's a spider, the spider's not in one area in the office. That spider's everywhere.
Right.
But if we say our client is very arachnophobic and she saw 2 spiders in that area, she says she is comfortable just moving to another section of the office.
Then her boss is going to think she's a fucking nut. Imagine being the boss there, Gareth.
Yeah, it's...
Now, but imagine being the boss of this. Our client is really uncomfortable because the woman next to her has a lifestyle where she doesn't wear shoes in the Arkansas summer, and it stinks.
But the
and
boss
it's gross.
knows this. Like, the boss, she's literally wiggled her toes at this boss, and he doesn't do anything.
What about just going straight up to the boss and saying,
"What?
Hey, I know it's wild. What
It's
about
crazy.
going straight up to the boss and just
Crazy.
saying this? Hey, we all love Diamond. I do too. I'm not looking to ruffle any feathers. Can you move me somewhere in the office so I'm away from those bare feet? Because it's gross to me.
I kind of think that's like an actual play.
It is. Talking about
Yeah.
spiders.
You're used to living.
It's like,
Yeah, but you're used to living inside of the nuts. It's not crazy to be like, I don't want to be next to someone with bare feet.
If a grown-up wore
And
a
you called the
diaper,
show.
if a grown-up wore a diaper at work and dirtied it, you're allowed to say, I don't want to be around them because I smell dirty diaper. You
By
don't
the
have
way,
to say,
not a
I
bad
don't want to be
pitch.
around them
Not a-
because there's
not a bad
there's
pitch
a
in there.
scorpion in the air.
Not a bad pitch. Not a bad pitch.
okay.
Have Bev wear a diaper?
Not a bad pitch.
The woman doesn't have the woman has smelling issues. She'll just be sitting in her own filth.
Tell you what, if I see someone sitting there in a dye, I don't care what it smells like. I don't love it.
I agree.
Beverly, I just have to point out really quick.
That's
if you
the
can
quote, isn't it?
If you
Okay.
can wiggle your toes to your boss and not worried about being fired, you got a pretty cush job setup. So
Yeah.
Oh, I work at a university. It's very hard to get fired.
I honestly,
I've heard.
Beverly, here's what I honestly think you need to do here. And this just takes courage. This takes courage.
my
This
God.
takes guts.
And that's
You
why
need-
I need to talk to you guys.
And you can do this. You need to walk
Yeah.
up to your boss alone
Okay.
and say, can we
Okay.
have a meeting one-on-one? Private.
Meeting.
Meeting. And
Okay.
they'll say,
Okay.
sure, is everything okay? And you'll say, everything's fine. Then you got to
Could be
say,
called a feeding. Yeah, go ahead.
I love working here. I am not looking to lose my job. I love all the people's personalities. I'm very happy. I have an issue where sitting so close to Diamond because she is shoeless, but I do not want to offend her. And I do not want to make her feel bad because I value her as a person. Can we do something secretly between you and I where you move me to another part of the office so that she can continue her lifestyle and I can continue my lifestyle, because my
She already
lifestyle
thinks-
is feet should be covered in public.
And she already thinks I'm afraid of spiders, and I saw some over there, so I'll easily be able to say it's just a
I would
spider
say
thing.
let's just drop the weird spider thing.
Nope, we're sticking with spiders, whether Jake likes it or not.
Feels like it confuses a very simple
It's a good
thing.
cover.
But what do you think
Beverly,
about that, Beverly?
I think he's right.
Yeah, I just want to say with all of the episodes that I've listened to, like this feels like actually really helpful and like good. Like you guys have really zoned in on
Thank you.
what you do here.
So out of 10,
Well,
what
then
would
give
you rate
yourself
us?
a pat on the
Yeah.
back.
So, yeah, thank you. But it was
Jake-
a
Jake-
weird compliment, Gareth, because she
No.
also said of all
Jake-
the ones I've listened
Jake-
to,
Jake-
this one's the only one
Jake-
that's only kind of good.
Jake, hit
Yeah.
her with the rating question.
Out of 10, Beverly, 0 means we've done a terrible job. 10 means we've totally solved your problem.
No,
What
we're
would
awesome.
you rate us? Because this is a positive, so it's for sure more than a 7, yeah? So what would you rate us?
Gotta be above 7.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going like a 15.
Ooh,
Oh my God, the scale didn't even go
okay.
that high. The scale didn't even go that high.
So will
I
you
have
actually...
another idea, just really quick. I don't really want to get off the call here, but what if you guys came out with merch that were like little sandals? And they were
You're
straight
asking-
up sandals.
Look, we love our 15, but we can't be just doing targeted
Yeah,
merch
yeah.
in that way. But we
can't
love
put-
it.
But hold on, Beverly.
House shoes. House shoes. You could send her a pair.
Yeah, but by the way, Beverly, let's get back to this.
Yeah.
What are you
I'm
actually
sorry,
going to
of
do?
course.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm feeling like I would love like a hard copy letter. That just feels like it will be like the oomph that I need, the courage that I need to go and talk to my boss
Why do you need that?
about.
This is goofy. You're going to hand the boss a letter as opposed to just having that very clear talk?
Don't you think like having something to like hold on to and hand
But-
over?
but
No,
Beverly, it's a
no,
fake
it's a paper
letter.
trail. It's a paper trail.
Really?
No,
Well, if
paper
you went
trail.
to your therapist and the therapist said, my client's uncomfortable, also, if I'm your boss,
This
I'm
is-
going like,
Beverly, this is Dumbo's feather. You don't need the letter. You have it inside of you to
That's
go
right.
there and have this conversation. You don't
Okay,
want a paper
guys.
trail.
because it's going to
I-
make you seem worse.
You're
This is-
right.
I
I'm
th-
just
I
a
think you
nervous
just
gal.
say-
I'm a
It's gonna
nervous
hurt you.
gal.
Yes. But take a deep breath and just go in there and
Okay.
say, look, I am not complaining. I love being here.
Yeah.
This is not a
Right.
squeaky wheel deal.
No.
But
Right.
can you move me? Her feet, I don't love her feet.
Gross
I have a
me
thing about
out.
feet. They
And
gross
you know
me
what?
out.
You know what he's going to say?
You guys, is this something I'm doing today? This is
Yes.
something I'm doing today.
This is something you're doing after lunch.
Oh my god.
This is
I
something
think
you're
you can
doing
take-
right after you hang up from us. You are walking
Oh.
in.
It's
and you're
fresh
talking
in
to
your
us.
head.
This is the moment.
You're
Do
right.
not overthink it. Each day
Oh
is
my
going to get
God,
harder.
guys.
Just put on
Uh,
8
are you-
Mile.
Are you on a cell phone right now?
Yeah.
Start walking in.
Oh my God, Jake. We're not going to matrix this.
Start walking in.
Okay.
You got this.
Where's
It's
this
your
going?
time. We're going to go right to her door. She's going to knock on the door and then she's going to hang up.
Oh my God. This is the
Oh my
matrix.
God.
And no, you're going to keep it on speakerphone.
Keep it on speakerphone.
And hold your hand in your, so it just looks like it's off.
Jake, you're gonna freaking get me fired from my job.
Okay, then I don't want to do that. I want to get
No, you're
you.
not.
Okay.
I'm getting myself fired.
I don't
No.
want you. So
No, we got a
Beverly-
15.
But
We have a
also-
15.
Beverly,
Maybe you
Asking-
guys can help me just find another job.
No,
Stop
what
it.
the fuck? No.
stop it. She's the weird one,
I'm leaving
not
the parking
you.
lot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
Wait,
so
I'm
here's
the
what-
weird one?
No, not you.
No. No,
Beverly,
Okay.
listen to me for a second. We were about near a solution. We're starting to spiral. Do you think it's normal for a woman to walk around in Arkansas and then not wear shoes at work? Do you think that's normal behavior?
No.
Do you
Depending on
think
what county you live in?
What county? What county is it okay?
No,
I think a lot of them.
not at work. You're forgetting about Anderson v. Commercial Building.
So here's
Okay,
our
I'm-
advice. Our advice is go into the boss, have the talk. If you're afraid it's going to make you lose your job, do not do it.
And again, if your boss is like, "What are you talking about?" Be like, I'm just saying, it's cool. We'll figure.
Yes.
I don't think it's a
The
crazy
boss
gripe.
will not say
And if there's
that.
room to move you,
they'll move you.
Okay. Do you guys want to be on speakerphone for this?
no.
Yes,
Whoa, Jesus Christ.
I do.
Do you think your boss is gonna like see that you're on speakerphone?
Yeah, we don't
Like,
want to.
If that's gonna rock the boat, I don't want to do
Yeah.
it because
I don't-
if she catches it, then I think she's gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
Ready, set, go.
I
Ready, set,
agree.
go. I'm just kidding, you guys. I'm not going to do that. I can't do that.
Oh my God. Jesus
Bye,
Christ.
Beverly.
Beverly, let us know how
Goodbye.
it goes if you're going to do it.
I will.
I think
Thank you for your
you're a
time.
diamond. By the way, you have no shoes on. We just
Oh,
entered your
yeah.
world.
It's
You
Kaiser
sent the
Soze.
video. You
It's
sent
Kaiser
the video
Soze.
of your own feet.
Hey, thanks, pal.
Bye, buddy.
All right. Let us know.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Hey, everybody. Thank you guys for watching us on YouTube. Please
Like and subscribe so you don't miss any of this quality content.
ring, ring.
Here to help. Go ahead.
Cut.
That was a headgum podcast.